She looked me dead in the face and said my laundry was squatting on her machines. Her machines, in a shared laundry room, that neither of us owns. I'm sorry, what? So I've lived in my building for 2 years. Basement laundry room, 4 washers, 4 dryers, first come first served. That's it, that's the whole policy. It's in the lease. My neighbor Donna moved in about 6 months ago and at first she was fine. A little intense, but fine. She started doing her laundry on Sunday mornings, same as me. No big deal. I'd see her down there, we'd nod, whatever. Then one Sunday I go down and there's a laminated card, laminated, taped to washer number 3 that says, and I quote, reserved. D Unit 4B, I actually laughed. I thought it was a joke. I tossed my clothes in washer 3 and headed back upstairs. 30 minutes later, there's a knock at my door. Donna is standing there holding the laminated card like it's a legal document. She goes, you used my machine. And I said very calmly, there's no such thing as your machine, Donna, they're shared. She takes a breath, this patient, condescending breath, and says, I always use number 3. Everyone in the building knows that, it's just courtesy. I told her I'd been in this building 2 years and nobody had ever said that to me, so maybe that was news to everyone else too. She switched tactics. She said, look, I have a system. I do darks in 3, lights in 2, delicates in 1. If someone's in 3, my whole system falls apart. I mean, I genuinely had no words for a second. I told her I sympathized, but she couldn't reserve a shared machine with a homemade sign, and when my cycle finished, she was welcome to number 3. I thought that was more than fair. It wasn't. The next Sunday I came down and she had her laundry bags, not even her laundry, just the bags sitting on top of washers 2, 3, and 4, physically blocking 3 machines with empty tote bags. I moved them to the folding table and started loading. She appeared in the doorway within 4 minutes, 4 minutes. She must have been watching the hallway camera feed or something. She said, I had those reserved. I said, with empty bags. She said, placeholder is still a placeholder. And then, this is the one that got me. She leaned in and said, I would think someone in a shared living situation would be a little more considerate of their neighbors. Considerate, she said that to me, after blocking 3 machines with tote bags. I told her very clearly that I was done having this conversation and I was going to do my laundry now. She stepped in front of the machines. Actually physically stepped in front of them, arms out, and said, I'm going to need you to wait. I just stared at her. And then I said, Donna, move. She said, not until you agree to respect the system. The system, her system, that she invented. So I pulled out my phone and called our building manager right there, on speaker, in front of her. The building manager picked up and I explained exactly what was happening, neighbor blocking shared machines, laminated reservation cards, the whole thing. Dead silence on her end for a second and then she goes, Donna has done this before? And I said, apparently. Donna's face went from outrage to something else, like she suddenly realized this wasn't just a me problem for her anymore. Donna grabbed my arm, actually grabbed my arm and said, you are being so dramatic right now, I cannot believe, and I cut her off. I said loud enough for the building manager to hear on speaker, please don't touch me. And then I said, yeah, okay, this is the part people might say I went too far. I said, you're not the HOA, Donna. You're not the building manager, you're not my landlord. You're the woman in 4B who's been throwing a 6-month tantrum over a washing machine, and everyone in this building is going to know it. She went completely silent, just still. The building manager showed up 20 minutes later, in person, on a Sunday morning, which tells you something. She walked right past me, looked at the laminated cards still stuck to a couple of the machines, peeled them off one by one, and said to Donna out loud, in the laundry room with 3 other residents who had wandered in at this point, these machines are a shared amenity. You don't get to reserve them. If I hear about this again, it goes in your file as a lease violation. Donna opened her mouth and the building manager just said, I'm not debating it, and walked out. Donna stood there in front of everyone, 3 neighbors, me, under those horrible fluorescent lights, and she just started loading her darks into washer number 3. No eye contact, no words, her hands were shaking a little. I finished my laundry, folded it upstairs, and I felt fine about it, mostly. But that thing I said about everyone in the building knowing, I didn't have to say that part. I wanted to. She deserved it, I think, but I didn't have to. Honestly, though, was I too harsh? Comment below.